Hello all. I just posted a video of a song, a ballad for Americans. I first heard it, I'm an old man, late in World War II. My mother gave me a album. It was 78 RPM, that's all we had in those days. Then we went to 45s and 33 RPMs, and then we went to CDs, and now you got iPods and such. I didn't understand it for a number of years. I began to realize that, ironically, it might be the most patriotic American song ever written. I say ironically because Paul Robeson, who I think was a great American, was accused of being a communist and hounded out of the United States. And then when they couldn't shut him up, they took away his passport and kept him in the United States. Paul was black. He was born in New Jersey. His father had been a slave. And after the Civil War, moved north and went to college. One of Paul's sisters was a doctor, another was a minister. Paul went to Rutgers on an academic scholarship. Only the third black American ever accepted at Rutgers. He was Phi Beta Kappa, and he was class valedictorian, despite a lot of prejudice. He also earned 15 varsity letters in football, baseball, basketball, and track. As an end in football, he was first-team All-American in both 1917 and 1918. He then went to Columbia University Law School, graduated in 1923, and played pro football in what was the predecessor of the National Football League to pay his tuition. So here we have an All-American football player and a lawyer, and then he became an actor and a singer. He starred in the London stage and on Broadway, in The Emperor Jones, and in Showboat. And he starred in the film version of Showboat. He won the Spingarn Medal for his portrait of Othello on Broadway. And his version of Othello played on Broadway for longer than any other Shakespearean play ever has. He co-starred with Uta Hagen and Jose Ferrer. People of my generation remember them as two of the greatest actors of all time. However, Robeson was a champion of civil rights. In 1946, he founded the American Crusade Against Lynching. Because of all this, he was labeled a communist by the FBI. His films were taken out of circulation. The State Department revoked his passport because, quote, his criticism of the treatment of blacks should not be aired in foreign countries. It's a local affair. And yet he recorded what I think is one of the most patriotic songs ever written in the United States. And about the ballad for Americans, it was performed at the 1940 Republican National Convention. Although a Virginia congressman tried to censor it because of its communistic overtones. Robeson was treated very badly. He was later vindicated. In 1995, he was finally inducted into the College Football Hall of Fame. And in 2004, the United States government issued a postage stamp in his honor. Amazing. He was a hero to my mother. My mother was probably one of the most unprejudiced Americans of the 1940s, 50s. She had black friends when it was unpopular to even talk to a black, except as a servant. She went out of her way to make them welcome. Ballot for Americans, to me, evokes all that is good about the United States. The political infighting by both political parties today makes me sad about the possible future of the United States. When Americans running for high office make their opinions totally dependent on polls that say what they should think so they could run to be ahead of the American public, we're in trouble. I'm going to do a video next about great presidents who are great because, not because they tried to lead the herd because it was popular, but because they did what was right.